It's June 2014, and in about a month's time, Estonia starts its negotiations to become a full member state of European Space Agency. In order to prepare our young space industry and academia for successful participation of European Space Agency's programs and optional programs, we have invited to Estonia two experts from ESA with decades-long of experience in European Space Agency and global space industry. Mr. Patrick Eymar and Mr. Gilles Maquet. Mr. Eymar, could you tell us briefly what would be the most important topics to focus the young space country with the young space industry in order to start to choose European space optional programs?
I think it's a very difficult question and difficult to answer in a few words. First of all, I think there are two levels. First of all, being good in science and space technology. This is the first step. And then take benefit of what ESA is offering to new member states, which I understand we, Gilles, neither me are from ESA, but I've been working with ESA for a long time, and we have understood that there is a progressive set of activities before really joining, so take benefit of that. Take benefit of the possibility of working with other companies who are already in the space business and who have been doing business with ESA. And maybe not spending too much time for these young people, but make them a little bit aware of what is ESA, how they're functioning and what they're expecting.
ESA is also focusing mainly with the big concerning of big projects. It's focusing also to contracting the big primes. Mr. Maquet, do you have experience how a young country, what are the mechanisms, how a young country could successfully cooperate with those big prime contractors in the space industry in Europe? Is there any good advice to how to find the cooperation?
Yes, I think first there is a good news. There is room for everybody within the large ESA program. They are shaped in a way that, of course, there are prime companies who have a responsibility for the prime contractorship, but there are subcontractors, there are equipment suppliers, there are vendors, so there is room for everybody, and the ESA mechanism are such that every country belonging to ESA can and will participate to the program. Having said that, the smaller companies, those who are newcomers, they have to first let them know. They have to take contact with the primes to demonstrate what are their capabilities, what they already have done, what is their expertise, because not everybody will jump on them. So they have to manage to be known and to have contacts before the coming of new programs, and then after they will be selected in a competitive mode. But they have a chance. They have a chance because it will be based on expertise, it will be based on the fact that the European space industry is willing to have on board newcomers for many reasons, for reasons of innovative approach, for reasons of cost, for reasons of enlarging the scope. So there is room. There is room.
With regards to applications, you're referring to remote sensing applications. What would be the good way for a new country to utilize best the European existing remote sensing potential and the new one that's to be created?
We were referring couple of minutes ago to borderlines of a country, of a state. Let's think about borderlines of application. In the past, I don't know when the past was, but in the past you had space activities, you had ground activities. For example, you were making a photography of landscape, or you were going with an airplane, or you were going with space, and there was no connection. Today, you can make connection between the space world, the ground world, the air world, the aircraft world, and this is why there are a lot of possibilities of merging the data. And the key word is probably data. Make benefit of all the data that is existing, and through very innovative application, you can take benefit of the existing data and provide something which is useful either for everybody or for a certain category of citizens in Europe.
Let's take a practical example. Following the December European Union Summit on Security and Defense, EU decided to launch a maritime security strategy, which means that they will think about how can EU be in a better position to have a maritime surveillance everywhere. So this will not be done by one country, this will not be done by one company. And we could imagine, for example, that maybe not today, but the day after tomorrow, Estonia can play a role in that domain. Either
Estonian companies,
either for Estonia as a country or for the region, because there will be some centers for maritime surveillance which will be located here and there. So this is an example of a domain where a new country can have a role to play.
So to support what Gilles just said, you have two levels. You have the country level, where you need to have a strategy, and this is in your hand, in the government field. And then you have the level of the companies, the newcomer, or the company already existing, who can take benefit of all the data available and follow your strategy. Strategy is also very important for a country who wants to do something in space.
But from a company level, it usually needs a very good plan for a company strategy also to how to enter space markets and space. I mean, it's usually not a short-term plan. It takes at least a number of years.
It depends. When you're referring to a strategy to build a satellite, it's clear that a satellite cannot be thought one day and at the end of the following week prepared. But when you're thinking about terrestrial applications, the delay, the time used for that may be extremely reduced. You may talk in, let's say, in months. When you're talking about space thing flying around, you're definitely thinking in years and sometimes in decades. You can make a comparison with somebody looking for a job. Somebody looking for a job, what do? First of all, you have to present your CV. And I think whatever you do, you have to show that you have some expertise. Maybe not in a company, but that you have learned something. And from what we know about the Estonian landscape, plenty of people, plenty of small companies can say, hey guys, I've already done that. So I'm not a completely newcomer, okay? We are not used to the ESA rules, etc. But I'm not arriving empty-handed. And I think this is extremely important. What we feel maybe the responsibility of the Estonian authorities is maybe to guide these newcomers and say, hey, we would like you to focus on this line, better focus, for example, on remote sensing than trying to jump in the Ariane development, because here the results are not sure, and if ever there are results, they are decades ahead of you.
So basically, everybody should start to build a successful track record of their.
That's it.
And I think it may be a win-win situation with other partners. You may bring to other partners your innovation, your experience, and they would be happy to use it either for ESA program or for commercial program. And on the other hand, you can take benefit of the other older company's experience, then participating in other programs where you will learn something from them. It's a win-win situation, and all the space companies are open to that.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's see how Estonia is succeeding its negotiations and also hopefully future as a full member state.
We thank you very much, and we can tell you that we've been extremely happy of being in Estonia.